All right. So, welcome to the morning transfer show, and I've got a lot of news to bring you today, including a pushback from Sevilla over Jules Koundé, which is it's a bit of a hard one to take as a United fan. We've got a story about Raphael Varane. We've got a story about Sven Botman coming out just this morning. A story about Max Aarons, which came out just this morning. We've got, apart from transfers, we've also got Adnan Yazai speaking about the clash for the Europa League game, and I'm also going to be speaking about the abuse Martial's been getting, because that is it's unacceptable today. I think it's I think we all know that the papers are going to have been covering all the Martial. We're saying Martial's done shite, and it's all the same ones. But no, I'll be talking about that as well. But to start off with, I'm going to be talking about Jules Koundé. Now, let me just get my notebook out. Jules Koundé. Second. Right, so as well, the Spanish outlet Marca have been reports that Jules Koundé, who they have said could leave this Sevilla this summer, but only if a team matches this huge price tag. This price tag would have to, the bid, the transfer bid would have to be in the region of 80 million euros to be enough to secure a deal, of what Marca are saying. It's an interesting one. It's a very interesting, because are we going to spend 80 million for Jules Koundé? As much as I really like, I think Jules Koundé would be a great centre back for us. Are we going to spend 80 million euros for him? I don't know. It's a very interesting one. It's one to watch out for. I mean, I can imagine Sevilla will get backtracked in their price evaluation. I think will go down. I think it will, but if it doesn't, I can't see us getting him. I can't see us getting him for that sort of a price tag. If we can't buy Moises Caicedo for 10 mil, then you think we've got a chance of buying Koundé for 80 million euros. But to follow on from that, let's have a look at it about Koundé's profile and everything what he's about. Koundé. I mean, he's 22. Obviously, he plays for Sevilla. He's French. He's he's 5'10". But I don't think that will be a problem, because I think he'll be able to complement Maguire's style of play to a certain degree. I don't know. Let's see about that one. We'll have to watch out for it. Do I think it will happen? 40% yes. I'm not that sure. Right, the next one, Raphael Varane. The Sun have reported that Raphael Varane's on our 5-man shortlist for defenders this summer. Now, I wouldn't take much notice of that at all, because as much as I like Varane, I don't think we're in for him, because we're all Man United have always been in the question for Varane. I think for the last 5 years maybe. There's always been speculation about where Varane is going, and our name always comes up. I don't think the board have got the competency to get Varane. It would be such a massive deal. I mean, for marketing, it would make sense. It would make them a lot of money, but it's an interesting one. I don't think they can do it. But it also depends on whether Sergio Ramos stays at Real Madrid, because if Alaba comes and he'll want to get started, Ramos can't get dropped. He can't put go on the bench. So then what? Does Varane sit on the bench? You can't have Varane sitting on the bench. That's an interesting one. Unless I think if the Ramos thing will be an ultimate factor in whether he stays or goes out of Real Madrid. But again, it's one to watch out for. I mean, if we have a look at Varane, Raphael Varane. He's 27. Obviously, we know he's a centre back. He plays for Real Madrid. But the other thing is he's not, as much as I like Jules Koundé. Varane is a lot more qualified. He's experienced. I say the better word is. He's won a World Cup. He's won Champions Leagues. He's done it all. Varane, and he's young. He's 27. As much as we like Koundé, I would say Varane, if it was the same price tag, it would be a far better deal. But let's see about that. Right, so the third story I've got for you today. The third story I've got for you today comes from Eurosport, and it's about Sven Botman of Lille. Now, Eurosport is saying that both United and Liverpool are prepared to battle for the 21-year-old this summer. It's an interesting one. I think he's a very talented centre-back. I think Botman probably will be one of the best centre-backs in the world not that long. I mean, his stats for Lille are very good. Very good. I mean, if I get them up. And he's only 21. I mean, this kid could, But the thing is with this kid, we buy him now, it's a risk. It's not like buying a Varane or a Koundé. You get Botman, you know what you're going to get in 5 years. You don't know what you're going to get now. If we want to have a look at it, obviously we know he was at the Ajax Academy. He played alongside the likes of Sergio Dest and Ryan Gravenberch, and they're two very talented. We all know the Ajax Academy gets up the best, one of some of the most talented players in the world. So that just highlights it a bit more. Let's have a look at the other. Where does he fit? Well, Botman plays as a left-footed centre-back. He's impressed alongside former Southampton defender Jose Font this season. helping Lille to keep 8 clean sheets in their first 17 Ligue 1 appearances. That's quite good. We've needed some clean sheets, haven't we? Completed the third most passes in Ligue 1 with a completion rate of 86%. He's clearly comfortable with the ball at his feet and loves to drive out from the back. He stands almost 2 metres tall, and he bears some of the same physical traits of Van Dijk. Extremely strong in the air. Now, that's an interesting one, because do we need someone? We've got Maguire. Like we've got one of the best aerial threats in the air. We've got it in Maguire. We don't need another aerial threat in question. We've got Maguire. We don't need, Anyway, I think that'll be one to look out for. I think if we don't, I think we could get him in 4 or 5 years. Do I think we're going to get him this summer? Probably not. But it's one to look out for, definitely. Right, I'll just have a look at this chat. Chelsea fan. I don't know who that is. Chelsea fan. Derek Flynn, is this a United? Well, it is a United fan. It's a United channel, but we've got lots of different fans on here. We've got Arsenal Pratt. We've got some of the Chelsea scum, One of you, Chelsea fan, yeah. We've got your fans on here. Some coming on here. We're going to have Liverpool fans coming on here. And even maybe some Spurs fans. So it's the United channel, but we've got a lot of diversity in it, if you know what I mean. But no, yeah. Right, back to the transfer news and all the surrounding news for this morning. So, this morning there's been a big, how would I say, a big change in the Max Aarons transfer, in what we know. But let's take it with a pinch of salt. It's coming from the Daily Mail, so it's a big change in the in what we know, but it's coming from the Daily Mail. So, however, it's an English right back, and the Daily Mail loves English players, so got to be English, and well, actually, he's not. So, Daily Mail is suggesting that United might need to hurry up if they want to sign Max Aarons this summer, because Daily Mail is suggesting that Bayern Munich are stepping up their interest in a move for the Norwich right back. The report also cites continued interest from FC Barcelona, with it believed Aarons will leave Carroll Road at the end of the season. Wow, do I think that will be of anything? I think Barcelona may actually be in for him, because he's the right sort of player for them. Obviously, he's a right back, he's young, they're trying to build something there. He'd be a great backup for Dest. So you don't rate Max Aarons. Yeah, no, neither do I, but I think he's clearly got good talent. I don't think the level, obviously, he's nowhere near, at the moment, he's not top 4 level, is he? But can't deny this kid's got talent, hasn't he? I mean, we saw it last season in the Premier League. He's clearly a talented footballer. It wasn't that good. I think it hindered him to a certain extent because Newcastle at the end of the season looked very shit. I think if you watch Norwich at the Norwich. If you watched Norwich at the end of the season last season, he was probably their star player. I mean, except from what's his name, Cantwell, I would say he was the only player who shone out. But obviously, you're right, there is a big question of whether he is a top 4 player, a mid-table. I think he is a Premier League player. The left back Lewis was better, Jimmy. But no, it's an interesting one. I think it's one to keep your eye out for, because would I want him at the club? I think it would be great to have another young right back, and he would be competing. I'd prefer Lamptey. But if we were to get Aarons, I think I'd still be happy. As a backup for Wan-Bissaka, I think that would help him as well. Right. Actually, let's just have a look a bit about Max Aarons' profile. Max Aarons. I mean, he's only 21. He's only 21. Let's have a look. He won EFL Young Player of the Month in December. It's an interesting one. Let's keep an eye out for it, but don't be too disheartened if we don't get him, I'd say. Right, so the next piece of news I want to look at is Adnan Januzaj. And he's made some comments about the match. Right. He's explained why he's got nothing to prove against United this week. He was speaking to ESPN, obviously. Always got ESPN. It wasn't like the same. Was that Eurosport who Riola spoke to? I think maybe it was. But he said, I don't have to prove to anyone. I know my qualities. I don't have to prove to anyone how good I am. I just have to believe in myself, get my games, and be happy. I'm really happy to go back there. The club I love. Once I'm on the pitch, there's going to be no friends, because obviously I'm playing for another club now, and also I want to win the game. I want to go through with the team. I'm really happy to go back there to see the people, but once I'm on the pitch, there'll be no friends. And I think he couldn't have really said it better there. I mean, he's coming back to the club he loves, Unfortunately for him, he wasn't good enough, and he had to go, but he clearly loves the club. I think it's the same with Pereira and there's other players, I think, just weren't good enough, but they clearly love the club. But, he's going to go back there in a professional way, and, he's going to try his hardest in the game. Not going to get focused on seeing his friends, It's an interesting one. Let me have a look at the chat now. Reece James is clear of him anyway, Chelsea fan. Anyway, so if you're watching this at the moment, can you like and subscribe? I don't know where the like is and subscribe, but any news on Pogba? There is some news on Pogba, Jimmy. But don't forget to like and subscribe. That's something I'm going to say now. It's just come in. I don't know if you've seen it, actually. But very recent, Jimmy. So an update is expected this week, according to The Athletic. And Laurie Whitwell has said the original prognosis after sustaining a thigh injury set Paul Pogba's return at between 3 to 4 weeks. This places Paul Pogba's fitness for the games against Chelsea and City in doubt. A fresh update is expected this week. So I don't think he'll be playing in City or Chelsea, but if we can get him for the rest of the season, and try and get us top 4, that's what we've got to do, Jenny. Because ultimately, if he can come back, and usually when Pogba comes back from injury, he's got a bit of bit of how do you say, he plays very well when he comes back from injury, is what I'm trying to say. And if he can do that again, then we could we could get top four, is what I'm saying. Sorry. Where am I? Right, and well, the final story I'm going to be talking about today is about Anthony Martial. So we all know that Martial was subjected to further racist abuse following the United's draw with 1-1 draw with West Brom. Martial and United teammate Twanzeli were targeted by racist trolls last month after the Premier League defeat to Sheffield on the 27th of January, and the Frenchman was abused on social media again yesterday. A number of Instagram users left racist words and symbols in the comment sections of Martial's most recent post, uploaded 16 weeks ago. Last week, Instagram has announced new measures to tackle online abuse in the wake of the latest spate of sickening racist attacks on footballers, and the social media network told the PA news agency on Sunday evening that is looking into the matter and has already removed a number of racist comments. Now, I think this is an improvement. I think we're seeing an acceptance from social media platforms that it's actually going on, and they're trying to deal with it. I think that's a lot better now. It's getting the fact that they can just remove them because these people are just idiots. They're not fans. If you're doing that, it doesn't matter if you're like a fan, Chelsea fan, Liverpool fan. You're not a fan. It's. I think we'd all say this if you're a Chelsea fan in the comments. You know what I mean? If you're saying to your player, putting monkey emojis and doing all that, I mean, you're not a fan, are you? You're just an idiot. So it's something that it's hopefully now it's going to start to get dealt with, which is it's took a lot of time, hasn't it? It's took a lot of time, but and ended that with a bit of a. I felt because it was. I don't want to end it with a bit of a bad note. I'll end it with a little article I've just come out now from the under-23 player Joe Hugill, and he's answered Ollie's question about Ahmad's penalty incident. So Hugill insists he let Ahmad take a penalty on his Manchester United debut because he wanted to welcome him to the club in style. The 18-year-old winger officially joined United last month following an agreement with Atalanta, and obviously made his first appearance for the club in the 6-3 win over Liverpool's under-23s. Second. But yeah, no, it's great to see they're starting to get a connection there. I think Hugo is one to watch out for the future, and it's great to see. We've got a lot of talent coming up now. But no, yeah, that's for all for today. We've got a show coming out at around tea time with me and an Arsenal fan. I think you'll like it. I think with me and an Arsenal fan, it's coming out around 4. And then at around 7:45, we're going to be doing a watch along for Chelsea versus Newcastle. Big game. We're going to be doing call-ins. Let's see how today goes. I mean, it's only a few days before Sociedad. Still absorbing that rubbish result from yesterday, but it's only go forward, and matches are coming thick and fast now, aren't they? So onwards and